we have enough folks for a quorum, so we will bring this meeting to order. It's the Kingston Planning Board, February 4, 2020. Starting, we'll do the introductions and say who's voting, who's not voting, but at the moment it looks like currently we have two full members here, so our two alternates will be voting. First one is Steve Hatfield. Next is Peter Coffin, Vice Chair and Board Member. Selectmen's rep is not here yet, but Merrill is not going to be here. So Steve will be voting in place of here. My right is Ellen Hoffner, or administrative assistant, one of our alternates. Until Robin comes. Board members Chris Bashkoff, Peter Beatty, Town Planner Glenn Greenwood, Selectmen's Rep Cliff Hills to the left. And so we do have a full seven-member voting board at this point. Okay. So everyone should have an agenda in front of them. First item is public hearing. It is for Mark Vines, D&M Holdings LLC, located at 1 Diamond Oaks Boulevard. It's tax map R3-4, land unit 2. The description of the legal notice says that this is a request for an expedited review or in addition to the previously approved building/site plan. So, and you also, board members should have in front of them a memo from Greenwood. I believe you would email this out ahead of time as well. And we have Robin Duguay joining us. So Ellen, you're back off of the building. You know,
I just like the tape to look pretty unnecessary. Yeah, thank you.
I was looking at that before, and I said, oh, I'll mention it.
And I said to my aunt, just because you put it in, and you push the buttons. So.
Take notes everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Vines is with us. If you could come on up to the table and have a seat, get settled. And for the record, if you would just introduce yourself for us.
My name's Mark Vines.
And you are the applicant, and this is your project?
Yes, it is.
Oh, we should have, we can pass out some plans here for people to look at. It looks like you have a set yourself.
Yep, it's almost done.
Looks like these
These are just small. This is a little large.
Does anyone need? You guys have large plans there. Glenn, you need anything?
I don't. I've seen it. Thank you. I've seen it. Talked about it.
Yep, take much there.
Peter? And, all right, I think we're passed everything out. So if you could, in your own words, just explain to us what it is that you're wanting to do.
Okay, basically I'm just looking to establish a mechanical room outside the garage area. So I'm just looking for an 8x12 addition. It's a lean-to type addition, 1 story, just, 8 feet tall. And it's just where I, the hot water heater, the boilers will go in the water tank. So it's behind the fenced-in area also.
And it's to the side of the building that's away from 125.
Yeah.
Ready for Glenn's comments? So we can move right along.
I sent them out earlier.
Yeah.
This is
I wasn't sure if you have to read it into the record, but.
yeah, this is
anything
very
contrary to what you put out?
straightforward.
So it's like a lean-to.
Yeah, just a mechanical room. Yeah, it's gonna have still a full foundation tied right into the existing building. And just a lean-to roof.
For the purposes of the plans, note 16, that's the updated coverage, or do you need to recalculate the coverage so that is accurate, the 31%?
No, Dennis said that it should fall in with everything, it doesn't.
Right, I didn't know if you wanted to update the number, but to reflect the 8x12 building.
But is that a paved area anyway?
No, it's just a grassed area.
So it's a very minor thing, and it certainly is well within the setback, so that's not a factor, but I just thought, make sure the notes are accurate if you recalculate that.
I don't know, Kevin Hatch.
Yeah, okay.
He's got some notes up the top.
96 square feet might not even equate to 1%.
1%, yeah, which is, well, yeah, it's a lot, yeah. Right, it's not much of a percentage of the building or anything, it's certainly minimum percent of the lot.
It certainly would change. It's probably not a significant amount of change.
A question of the applicant, were these plans drawn before or after you requested the hearing?
After.
I'm just looking at our site plans here. It says this new site plan may not need to be, no, actually it says the new site plan review need not be submitted for the planning board approval of the proposed development site meets the following, which I'm sure we're gonna talk about these and it's gonna meet all these followings. But I'm imagining that this wasn't free to have these redrawn.
No, nothing's free.
I'm kind of curious whether they're all redrawn.
Yeah, and I had them drawn up so I could show that little 8x12 room.
No, I understand that, but I mean, this could have the same thing. Not cost, but this cost to redo the whole cycle.
Yeah.
I just question.
So unless anyone has any contrary to Glenn's last sentence of the applicant has met all of the conditions with his submittal, the planning board should consider approving this expedited site plan request. I'm ready to make a motion.
I'm ready to say.
For the purposes of this being a public hearing and this being televised, Glenn, I don't know if you wanted to just do a quick verbalizing of this.
It's not a public hearing. We do this under the auspices of a public meeting.
Public meeting, so
Because we do not require that he notify abutters or put a notice in the paper. So it's an action that our regulations allow us to do at a legally noticed public meeting of the planning board, which this is. So beyond that, this minor addition absolutely meets all the requirements for an expedited site review under the rules.
If it'll help, when I make the motion, I'll read that into it. I'll read that bottom section into it so the public at least has it. So I make a motion that we grant the expedited site plan review and not require a new site plan. Due to the fact that under section 904, section 3, part D, of the site plan review regulations allowing minor additions to approved site plans under certain conditions as follows. 1, new site plan review need not be submitted for planning board approval if the proposed development of the site meets each of the following. A, there is an approved site plan for the property on file in the planning board office. B, the expansion does not constitute a change of use. C, the proposal does not result in expansion greater than 70% of the original structure size. In parentheses, in no instance shall the increase constitute greater than 1,500 square feet of new construction. Enter parentheses. D, all other requirements of the site plan review are satisfied. E, all site activity must presently conform to the existing approved site plan. And F, 12 copies of the revised site plan showing all alterations shall be submitted for the purposes of the file update based off the information provided by the town planner that the applicant has met all of these conditions with this submittal.
Second.
Thank you for doing that. All right, we have a motion and a second then to approve this minor change to the approved site plan. Any further discussion? You got the motion and second. Chris, Peter?
Yes.
There being nothing further, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. And this doesn't get recorded, but copies go into the plan, into the files, so we go into various places.
That's part of the tradition.
Yes.
And take the big plans back over that.
So, again, but, if we vote to approve the expedited site review and not approve the site, we have to have two votes.
Well, no, my motion was kind of twofold. There was a request for updated site plan review, which we did, but then I said that we should grant no need for an official site plan.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, there's no problem.
Okay, thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
I think you're all set.
Good, thank you guys.
Thank you for coming in. Would you guys, ladies, pass the materials back here, please?
Oh, 657.
657.
Is this requiring a process? It's saying you don't need it, but then it's saying you need 12 copies.
That's exactly what a site plan review is, the
It's
actual
the
process, the full process.
So we still need it.
Where we actually engage the town engineer.
Yes.
Or hydrogeologist if we had to, including the butters.
Yep.
All that is the process that we go through.
First require engineering fees, which is the second. I'm assuming it's the second.
Yeah, it's just all together. Yep.
Okay. We have a fair amount of correspondence. I haven't looked at it yet, so I don't know how much of it is critical, but we'll go through it. First one is a request from Diamond Oaks to waive engineering fees. There are two applications, and
Yeah, we have, Diamond Oaks has two applications coming in. One is for the dormer, and one is for a 7-bedroom residential unit. Both applications are asking to waive the engineering fees and to use the current escrow, and there's $1,000 in the escrow total. So if the board wants to waive the fees, that's fine. If they don't, I need to know to call them to tell them to bring in additional fees. So that's what he wants to do.
Does that seem realistic that it could not? It's not going to previous stuff like
Yeah, the dormer isn't gonna take any of the, yeah, I think it's enough. I think yeah, and if we needed more, we would ask them for more.
So, in the instance that it's a residential thing you're building, I can see Dennis not being required, but aren't we gonna need a fire suppression engineer of some sort of theirs not sprinkled down?
That's something that we would get comment back from the fire department because it goes out to them for review.
The building inspector has contacted Dennis to have them look at the driveway because he thinks there are topographical issues and things of that nature, so there may be some, but I don't know what Dennis's first bill will be, to then know how much, whether or not that's enough for you and Dennis for two applications.
I mean, if we have to get more money from them, we'll ask for more money from them. You know, I mean, if the board is more comfortable asking for additional $1,000 or additional $2,500, you're not gonna balk at that.
We're not gonna send it, and all of a sudden we expend this money and fire comes back and says, hey, we need a fire special engineer, we're obviously not gonna send that individual up there until we have it, right?
I guess my concern is, this is one of the first apartment complexes that has been built in Kingston in a long time, and there's probably gonna be a lot of things that pop up that we're not used to. So I think it's smart to have a full bond. Just what Robert brought up right away is, you know, the plans he's looking at, there's just a drop off where a parking lot's supposed to be. So there's gonna have to be fill brought in, there's gonna have to be substrate testing, all those type of things. I would be opposed.
Okay, and just for clarity, it wouldn't be a bond, it's actually a deposit of money, it's an escrow.
Right, it's what we call the engineering escrow account,
Right,
so.
right, but it's not a bond as in a performance bond after an application.
Correct.
And our normal, unless it's waived to something else, it's a $5,000 request.
Correct.
Requirement, actually.
So, 2 applications would be 10,000?
Well, maybe the dormer one, not.
The dormer one is for dry goods storage, so I wouldn't imagine we're gonna need a lot of review from that.
Yeah, I have no idea what I was thinking apartment.
Any other thoughts?
Ultimately, the selectmen wants to deal with some of the bigger headaches from this, and if they're already anticipating some issues, I would probably defer over to what selectmen's representative is indicating. They'd rather have those safety provisions there to address it.
And I don't even call it issues, I just think there's gonna be unknowns.
Unforeseen.
And any unspent funds go back to the applicant anyway.
Correct.
It's just that it means that they have to front the money.
Would the board be comfortable with doing a combined 5,000 to encompass both of the applications instead of the remaining balance on an additional 5,000?
In addition to 1,000, that's sort of in there.
It's for a total, so 4,000 to a total of 5,000 for both the applications. That's something anyone would entertain.
Well, Ellen, were you saying that there's 1,000 left on?
$1,000 left total for Diamond Oaks escrow account.
Right. But
And
that's on
both of
previous, these are new applications on top.
There's new applications, and there's an existing account for Diamond Oaks that the applicant is asking the board to just use the existing escrow account and not add any additional funds to it.
I'd be more inclined to, leave that, that's a pretty new amount, that 1,000, that I notes, and then have a new amount, total of 5,000 for the 2 projects, and we could say, waive the fee for the dormer and just use the standard 5,000 for the.
You don't waive the fee.
No, not the fee, sorry, not, fee,
Bring the escrow account,
Deposit, yes.
bring the escrow
Yeah,
account to
that's
the standard $5,000, but they can utilize that for both applications.
Well, there's 3 applications really.
Yeah, it sounds like that's not what Peter's saying.
That's
Peter's
not
saying
what I'm hearing.
there's
I'm
$1,000
saying don't
there.
touch the $1,000 that's already in there for previous application. There are 2 new applications.
Well, the previous application's done, you could actually
Yeah,
ask.
so we can
Oh,
just get
I
back,
see.
you can just get back to use.
So you could use the 1,000 for the dormers and add for whatever amount for the other. I think that's reasonable.
I think it's essentially that refund.
You'll know after the first meeting if you need more than that, based on how much work Dennis has to do. And after the first meeting, if Dennis already put in X amount of hours, you can say to the applicant, and you're gonna have to bring this up to $5,000 again every time it's in from.
Well, I think it's clear and a very honest response by the planning board to just say, we're comfortable that the $1,000 that exists now will cover the dormer review, but for the new application, we have a $5,000 requirement, and we think that that needs to be what the established amount is for the application. There's nothing wrong with him requesting a reduction, but there's nothing wrong with the planning board saying, for that particular application, that we understand has got ZBA approval and is now coming before the planning board, that it's more complex, and we want what the standard application fee is. There's nothing wrong with the board doing that.
All right, so what's we're sort of down to two things. One is a total of 5,000, and the other suggestion is leaving the 1,000 in to cover the dormer project and going with a new deposit, a new escrow account at the normal amount of 5,000.
Yeah, granting no waiver for the apartment one.
Was the request for a waiver or a reduction of fees?
It's technically a waiver when they put in the application. If they're not going to give us the full $5,000 requirement, they technically put in a waiver so that I can
get the
accept,
reduction.
because I can't accept that the application is complete without either the money or a request, what we call waiver, request to reduce the amount. So they put in the request so I can accept the application, but then the board has to tell them whether or not they're accepting that request / waiver.
The board would not be doing anything out of the ordinary by requiring the $5,000 for that.
I kinda like the idea of what Chris had mentioned, and Peter seconded, maybe say, that it's two applications, normally would be $5,000 a piece. Make the statement, we'll take the $1,000 we have in file, we'll take $4,000 more, one fee, $5,000 total, we'll cover both of them. Because regardless, if you're doing that, whatever inspection you're doing, it's coming from the same pond. I'll go have two separate bonds, one for $1,000, one for $4,000. Just have one bond for $5,000 to cover the whole project. We need that by motion. Is that what you said, right?
Yeah. So moved.
Second.
Motion by Chris, second by Bill. How do you want to word that?
Essentially, move their remaining escrow account balance. Well, I don't know, do we maintain one account just for that holding, or does it become a new escrow account?
It's going to be, both applications are in the same person's name, so it's one escrow account.
Okay, so then bring the total of the escrow account for the current outstanding applications to $5,000.
We'd be authorizing the addition of $4,000 to the escrow account as satisfying the requirement for both applications.
Correct.
Just require a total of $5,000 to cover both applications.
Yes.
Discussion on that motion. Seconded it. Vote, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So that carries unanimously. Okay. Second item is from Department of Environmental Services. It says no action required by us, and it is disqualifying the trail permit at Camp Lincoln. Okay.
Yeah, apparently Camp Lincoln requested a permit by notification, the very simplest wetland impact permit that there is that DES allows, and DES is sending a letter saying, no, we're not going to allow you to do that, for two reasons. One reason, the wetland that you're impacting is a more valuable wetland than you've indicated to us. And secondly, our wetlands rules have changed and you submitted your request on the wrong forms. So resubmit on the proper forms, and by the way, you need to do a better wetland application because we're not going to go for the wetland permit by notification. So it's kind of a slap back to them, and it's just the ball is in Camp Lincoln's court right now.
Thank you, Glenn, for that summary. I think this one, This announcement just came out for the state's spring planning and zoning conference. It is a full day event, it's on a Saturday, it's May 30th, and I asked if we could get this out to folks early, because what happens is that they tend to fill up quickly.
They do.
If you know, it's not a requirement, but if there are any folks who would like to attend, it would be good to let Ellen know, and she can register, and we have enough money in our budget, we can pay for the registration, and I believe we cover mileage back and forth as well.
And they often will have that filled by the first week of March now.
So really, if you are interested, probably best to sign up for it. It's usually a very good event. I have forwarded that also, just in case they didn't get it, I forwarded it to the other land use boards in town, CBA, HDC, because they have different tracks, and they cover all different aspects of zoning. Next one is an invoice from Rockingham County Conservation District. I'm assuming this was for the site. This was the sidewalk over
Sidewalk and the report,
Road, the sidewalk and the report, right?
but would not, he is attending the meeting on the 18th, and a separate invoice will come for that.
Right. Letter from Robert Khalil regarding selling vehicles, parentheses, also for same site, a question from building inspector regarding taking a fresh look at old situation lines. This is from building inspector Robert Stewart to this board. Oh, I'm sorry. This is from Robert. This is from Mr. Khalil, dated yesterday. It says, I, Robert Khalil, owner of R&G Realty Trust, located at number 5, State Route 125 in Kingston, would like to inform the board that my daughter, Mackenzie, and I will be opening and operating a family business selling used vehicles. The business will be registered as Truck World and will be located at the address stated above. Oh, yeah. Number 5. I have owned the property for 20 years and have previously ran a car dealership there for 15 years. I am fully aware of the rules and regulations per the site plan. Thank you for your time, Robert.
We did get this from Robert, which is some concerns he has on the site plan, and I think the activity there, and whether or not these berms are still working correctly, and whether the catch basin is working correctly. But at the time that we received this, it was when Jack's towing was there, and there were site issues. So I don't know if...
Aren't they still there?
But
No.
they're going to be going soon, and Mr. Khalil will be taking over the activity on the site.
Because I guess that's my question, is it going to be coming, because I believe there are 2 occupants of that address now.
Well,
There's a separate mechanic, and then there was Jackson.
that's what I didn't know if the board, rather than talk about saying this is okay, would like to invite Mr. Khalil to come in to talk to the board to explain what activities might actually be occurring. And that way, everybody knows who, what, where, when,
Both
it's in a record
storage and
someplace.
trash heaps. And
Any of those things, but
Let's say
I leave that to the board.
it's in every room down there.
That's my question. It's can't be a new business.
Well, it's
Sell
my
one Mini Cooper.
It's my understanding from Mr. Khalil's discussion with the inspectors that the current tenant is no longer going to be operating out of there and will be leaving the site, and Mr. Khalil will be using the site instead. But, you know, that site seems to have generated a lot of discussion as to who's there, what businesses. So this might be a good opportunity for the board to invite the owner of the property, who will then be the current owner of the business, so that everybody is on the same page, but that's a good decision.
Well, and that's also the indication that we're getting from the building inspector, that maybe it's time to take a look and just at least get some current information.
And presumably he'll have to get a new state license. So we'll be receiving that as a planning board at some point.
Let me, Glenn, you can answer it. How long have we been
Oh,
batting this one around? Over a year?
an occupancy permit was never given to Jack's Towing by the town.
Really?
I don't believe they ever got a final occupancy permit.
They did get all their inspections done.
Did they ever get a final approval on the sign?
I think Robert Stewart was the last one who needed to sign up.
So, and according to Mr. Khalil, he stopped paying months ago, Jack's Towing, and that's ostensibly why that relationship was gonna end. So, we would need to see a new permit request, for approval from the state. And it is a perfect time to go in and make sure that they keep the site plan says that there will be clear, travel lanes on the property. Clear travel lanes haven't existed on that property at all in the last 5 months that I've been going there almost monthly.
Even in all the cars. That's required, right?
There's so many issues there.
So,
The only issue they really addressed in the last 6 months was getting the vehicles off the state right away. That's the only one that I could always see. And Ellen argues with me that she sees them. I haven't seen them in the state right of way in months, but everything else has remained pretty much non-compliant. Parking in the back, they have all sorts of stuff in the back that doesn't, behind the building, that doesn't show on the site plan, that admittedly moves.
So the question is, would it be easier for us, when that request comes, is to authorize Glenn to go down and discuss the issues, bring it back to the board? We'll see if we want to.
I think it would be best for me to indicate to Mr. Khalil that when we get that permit request from the state, that the town has concerns, and either a site visit or a visit here with the planning board is going to be required. There's no reason that we can't have that discussion with Mr. Khalil right now, but we have not seen that permit request yet.
so the question is, do we want to speak with him before, while he might be, getting things ready for his business? I would hate to wait for the permit, which might come quite a ways down the line, and then all of a sudden, he's already established, and then we've got issues with what he's doing. I think I'd rather talk to him early on, because if there's anything going on that we need to discuss with him, that would be.
We don't want to do it on the 18th of February, however.
No.
But should I ask him to come in for the first meeting in March?
Yes.
All right. And what I will do in the interim is send him a letter that I'll CC to the Board of Selectmen that includes the site plan and ask about the issues that our inspectors still feel are out there. Just so he knows the questions that we'll be asking when he comes in March.
Date of the March. First,
The 3rd of March.
Just remind me, we have 3 applications.
yeah, it's a busy meeting as it is, because we do some stuff.
We did move stuff there.
All right, so you'll reach out to him, Glenn?
Yes.
We're not going down.
You're going to invite him to that meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
very short note from Mr. Bob Frazier, dated the 30th of January, addressed to the board. To whom it may concern, please return the balance of my escrow account. Thank you, Bob Frazier. Okay, give me my money. So I don't know who he is or what project it is.
It was the boundary line adjustment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Off Rock Ribbon and the fake
The
ginger way.
not ginger way.
Oh,
The one that just.
we weren't here for that.
Well,
Oh, that's right, you were here for that one.
We've been on Google Call.
That's why I meant
I'm
nothing.
gonna, if you initial it, I'm gonna follow up to, because I want to make sure that, London have outstanding invoices. And I also have to double check to make sure that we have, that the granite markers have been set, that I pay for. Charlie's usually the one who's pretty good about that.
Yeah, I think that they have been, but
I think so,
that's good
but
to
I
check.
haven't confirmed that,
And I think I've done my invoices for it too, but that's good to
yeah, I
make sure.
just, before giving it to Cindy, I just wanted
Yeah.
to check on the fees and.
so I'm signing it, indicating that it's okay pending any remaining expenses.
I'll check that, I'll give it to Cindy.
Looks like we have another one from Donald Pryor. Oh, that was the withdrawn application. Right. Again, dated January 28th this year, addressed to this board, and it reads, my business with Kingston Planning Board has been completed. Could the board remit the balance in the escrow account? Thank you, Donald Pryor. And attached to that is he attached the bank statement that shows the balance. Is there anything remaining in that one?
No, I'm sure I
I would think too,
Okay,
again,
Mike.
before I go to Cindy, I prefer review what things have been passed against it to make sure all the ones have been.
Yeah.
Great. Well, it's just, I had printed it for the board, and it never got distributed. So my question was, did the board approve this conditional use permit as presented to the accessory dwelling units? So I'll know once, if it passes, if that's the form that the board's going to do.
Okay, so the issue here is that one of the warrant articles is some changes to our accessory dwelling unit ordinance, where currently for a detached, maybe even internal, but anyway, the application went to ZBA. Now, under the proposal, internal changes to an existing structure will just go to building inspector, I believe, and detached or anything external to the primary structure comes to us for a conditional use permit. And we created an application, conditional use permit application, which I think we looked at when we did this, and so Ellen was just questioning whether or not this was what we were going to be using.
I know everybody looked at it, but then
I don't
in mine, as I was getting ready to file everything, I still had all that many copies, all still attached. And I went, did we approve it? I didn't want to start using it before then.
I don't believe that the board, I don't believe we ever made a motion to approve it.
I didn't,
Pass it on.
want to take a quick look at it.
One of the things that I know a lot of, in years past, you kind of put out for public information, sometimes the cares called like kind of the Reader's Digest version of why we've supported, boards. Is that going to happen after the group session, or, because I just know, well, there's already people on some of the town, like social media pages that are like, these things are always so confusing, like when I do stuff, you don't even know what it means, so I think it'd be best to put out that Reader's Digest version sooner than later if possible.
Okay. It typically doesn't get discussed at deliberative session because zoning articles have already had their hearing.
Yeah.
Usually the moderator just moves past that. But sometimes if the board feels that there are proposals by the board that need a little bit of discussion, a little bit of explanation, sometimes we do a letter to the editor that goes through the paper.
Yeah.
And talks about it. But that needs to be discussed and voted by the board, so that if I'm going to be writing it, doing it on behalf of the board has to authorize me to do that.
I just think it's always good, there's so much confusion with land use articles in general that unless you.
Then we kind of don't vote on it, because I heard the same feedback.
Correct, and it's because a lot of them are like, yes, so I make a motion that Glenn draft up information regarding, land use warrant articles. For public dissemination regarding the gist of reasoning behind it, what the potential effects would be.
As a letter to the editor?
As a letter to the editor.
Sure.
Well, there's nothing to say that we couldn't take that same text and
Yeah,
make
then
copies of it.
anyone can copy and paste it into social media and just put it out there.
Okay. Your motion said to draft it. Does that mean that you want it drafted and then the board would review it further, or you just want me to write it and submit it?
I think you should just write it and submit it. You obviously you're the chairman.
My only
and you obviously understand a lot of the intent.
Yeah, my only reason for asking is that if the board wanted to review it, there isn't a lot of time to get into the paper with all the lead time that they have.
I recognize that. I'd rather them get something, and if there's information that needs to be clarified, and people want to ask questions, I think they can do that.
So I changed it from draft to
Write and submit.
Submit, yeah.
like a write it next to brought up, it's a letter to the editor.
Because a lot of times, some of our stuff, especially when it's replacing entire text, people are like, well, now all this stuff is in here, I don't know what this means, and you're like, we did this to mirror information that's already available at the state level, so that it's easier to find for citizens. Something like that they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and you could see something like this, it's like, oh, they're making more regulations.
Yes.
In fact, what we're doing is we're taking away a lot of requirements for getting an ADU permit, so.
Okay,
Just need a second.
Yeah.
so we need a second. Chris made the motion.
I'll second it, yeah.
Peter Coffin did the second. We need to talk about this anymore, discussion. You all set, Peter?
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? One abstention.
Sorry, we weren't the right one.
No, it's something we normally do.
Yeah.
And it's important, so.
Yeah.
No.
It's just, I had some people reach out to me, and I didn't really want to put out anything as an individual board member, like, explaining it. I'd rather it come from a unified sense, since we unanimously approved the moving of those forward.
And so, so that motion, if it didn't say it specifically, it implied that I would be doing it on behalf of the company.
Right, yes.
As chair of the committee.
I mean, you kind of, you actually
Yeah.
said it.
Well,
in
and
the
if you-
section, but it's in the.
Okay, so this was the conditional use permit. This was it was a draft that I think I actually came up with the draft plan and provided it to you for review, and I'm not sure, I haven't seen this in a while, so.
I don't think I've ever seen this.
I'm not sure if the board did
I
actually.
don't know, that was my question. I had too many copies still
Yeah.
put together for the board to have looked
Yeah,
at.
because it doesn't, I remember
So
talking
you guys
about
want to
it.
look at it first?
Yeah, I don't, I've never physically seen
Okay.
this.
So Glenn, you just made a comment before you handed these out that some of these ADUs in Kingston, the applicant could go to the building department. Not all of them can come to the planning.
Correct.
Which ones are those again?
The ones that are inside of the primary structure, where the from, if you looked at something, if you looked at the building from the street, the house.
Yeah.
What's already there, if the AD, right, what's already there, if the ADU is inside there and makes no changes to the outside, that's handled just by the building inspector.
So would that fall under connected? Being part of the
No,
unit?
no.
You're talking about an addition?
Yeah. Addition or a separate building.
Or separate,
Right,
or
an
detached.
addition.
Addition or separate, anything that changes the exterior of the property, whether it be an
That
addition.
I mean, a little confusing, detached or connected. So
And again,
detached or addition.
But based on what our ordinance actually says, that's why I listened to you guys too, that you may want to change the wording of that to more reflect what our ordinance says. I
Accessory
have-
dwelling unit that is detached or to be added. An addition, right? Connected, that would be like.
Yeah, because I think the intent was, yeah, that it's not required, if you had one of these older homes and you're gonna create a section of that already existing home, and
Correct.
section it off inside, and it's now an accessory dwelling unit.
So.
But I think if you're gonna build a large bump out on the side of the house, I think that was
An addition.
When do you want it on the agenda? The election.
Ideally, we want to get this in place before the election, assuming that the article passes.
Do we want to do I dare say out loud we do a third meeting in February?
Go away.
Okay, Glenn sort of smiled, but I got nasty looks from both Ellen and Phil. So, you know what, I didn't even say that out loud, forget I even said that out loud. So do we look at this on that first Monday in March?
I only have one question on this. This form must be accompanied by a separate list of names and addresses of the butters, including owner and other professionals. What does that mean?
If you have an engineer skip the plan, they have to, that's a state legal requirement.
Yeah, or if they have a wetland scientist.
Like, you have other professionals who somehow abstain whatever plan you've given us, they have to give legally.
Owner is necessary professional. Owner, I get you saying, owner and other professionals. So,
Okay, but we're not talking about this tonight.
yeah, that's right.
Is there anything that would prevent us from talking about this tonight?
None of you are ready.
Just fill it.
But if
Can we
you're,
take 2 minutes?
It's your board members who said they wanted to.
if the board has scanned it and they're comfortable dealing with it tonight, we can deal with it. And if, this was just to make it easy for someone who was coming into the town to fill something out that we as a planning board could
Can't change
take.
it.
It can always be changed or modified, so, like Peter, you were talking about the word connected, maybe there's a better way to say that.
Right, this isn't a
This is
posted
an
document.
administrative kind of
Right,
thing.
this isn't posted in any way as a legal document. We could change this, you could look at this and agree to this and then change it on
Any-
Thursday and we could make a
Right.
change. It doesn't require notice or anything.
My only concern is that if this is adopted at the March election.
Right,
given that
it would be nice to have something
We
like.
tell them they need to have a conditional use permit, but we have nothing for them to look at.
Right.
We really need to have something for them.
I have to say, your February 18th meeting is looking a little less now than the March 3rd meeting. Yeah,
It's true, we really only have Bresnahan and Falzone, right?
and New England Formation.
And, oh yeah,
Forming too,
but
that's what I'm saying.
it's not much.
And on the 3rd, you have Fairbury Holding, 54 Library Lane, 2 applications for Diamond Hills Golf Club, and then Mr. Park.
So on
Take 5 minutes.
on pages 3 and 4,
Or on February 25th, we could do it.
it says 206.4 ADU requirements are, Those are right out of our ordinance.
Well, it looked like it, but the new ordinance,
I don't think the new ordinance changes this, though. The new ordinance only changes where
the requirement.
where you have to go to get permission to do this.
So just, I just have a copy of the draft, not what we finalized and agreed upon with me, but if the language from the draft that we finalized and revised last time made its way into this, I don't have a way to verify that. So maybe I spoke too soon.
So you do have a draft?
I have a draft,
Okay.
but I cannot verify that it's a final
Oh,
draft
understood.
because it has my notes on it.
But it does indicate that the board looked at it at one point.
This is
No,
a draft
she's
of
looking
the
at my
actual ADU ordinance.
Oh!
Not this.
Got it.
But we reference it in the application, so I guess my concern is,
But these things
does
that
the
are
language in
referenced,
the application reflect the changes that were made to the ordinance?
it does,
I can get
Does.
the ordinance if you want.
it does. These things, the way that we're measuring and the restriction on houses smaller than 1,200 feet, those are all the things that
Those are all the new things.
that are in the unit, yeah. So I mean, for purposes of having this available, if someone were to ask for it quickly after a town meeting, I'm comfortable with that.
I would like to make a motion that we accept the application for conditional use permit for accessory dwelling units detached or connected as presented.
Second.
Motion by Phil, second by Robin.
I think it's a good starting point, have it there.
We can fix it the week after.
Yeah.
Fix it whenever we need to.
That was very firm.
Discussion?
Need to feed something. You gotta go feed something.
Nothing beats nothing.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Gotcha.
So we're not doing this on February 26th?
No, it's done.
You may be here by yourself.
What we can do is see how this works,
Do with you in spirit.
It's a Wednesday.
and when people start using it, can we identify
Right.
problems? Oh, back to that.
Who approved that?
Okay, the next item on our list is another note.
I asked, Glenn, if I could just ask the board to approve this as a requirement. We've come across recently for a subdivision that we have done. The board has approved the plan with multiple pages conditionally. Usually we take that full plan, because only like 3 or 4 pages of that gets recorded. So the 3 or 4 pages that got recorded are changed. But I now don't have a full plan set of the corrected pages. I just have the 4 pages that are recorded, but we always hang the full plan set together, and I haven't like signed it. But we came across so that 16 pages, 4 are now incorrect, because we don't require that on a conditional approval, it's going to have changes, that they provide us with the new, clean, full pages of the plan set, so that we have it. So I just want to add to the requirements that if you have a conditional approval that changes any of the plans in the plan set, you have to not only give us the Mylar, you have to give us a new plan set that has the new pages in it. Because otherwise, we don't. I have to have Glenn find this weird copy thing that says, this page doesn't count, it was changed, look in the file. So if we had them just give us the new one, and actually we should get 2, because there needs to be one for building inspector as well. But I can't just make up new requirements without the board saying it's okay. That's the only way we have the full plan set as a complete set. They bring us that.
And is this because they're bound?
Yes, they're all bound together.
Yeah,
except
we can't just cut and paste it, I mean,
No, because then they fall out.
say this one, right, yeah.
So, you know, and it only really happens when it's a conditional approval.
Right.
Because if it's an approval where they brought in the plans and we're approving what we've been given, we have those sheets.
Right.
But if it's a conditional approval and they have to change things, we now don't have a complete plan set in our office. That's correct. We then get, well, this was recorded, but the page says this. So it gets to be kind of confusing for everybody. But shouldn't be a big deal, just bring us in a new plan set and bring us in the model.
Glenn, that's not unrealistic compared to other communities,
No,
correct? I mean,
no.
that's, I mean, because
There's,
I'd like to.
there's nothing, that's, should be the request all the time.
Because obviously I don't want to hold people to the point where we don't approve it until they have it complete.
And if they bring us in the new Mylar anyway, they've already replotted those
Yeah.
pages. So we're not asking them to really do anything they don't already have, but they just don't bring it because they don't ask them to. It's only if the board changes something that we don't have to control that, which is usually only done by conditional approval.
Chris, and Peter, do we discussion? Everyone comfortable with the concept and the issue here? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? It's unanimous. Okay.
Was it Chris and Peters?
No,
Peter,
no,
Peter Baker.
Putting it around.
Give me a minute.
And the last item of correspondence, I believe, is something we want to discuss.
Verbal correspondence.
Does this go with it?
Yeah, that's all, yeah.
So, there was an issue, you saw last night's meeting with the selectmen. There was an approved subdivision from the late 70s that had a grade laid out for each driveway. Two of the houses were built at that time. One just got purchased and built in the last year. Since that time, the grade that was acceptable, as called out by NFPA regulations, is now 10% versus 15% on the subdivision. So, one of these cases where they came to us for a certificate of occupancy from the select board, it may have needed to go before the planning board, but we just kind of did an audible and handled it ourselves. If you want more backstory, I can gladly give it to you. I still feel like we have something tonight. What came out of that, though, was what this was off of the state road, and it was a driveway off of the state road that was off of a private driveway. So it kind of fell through the cracks because the rules were, if it's off of the state road, we don't require a driveway permit. After meeting with the inspectors, the road agent, we're still on the hook to make sure that all these regulations are in place as far as grades and everything like that. So it was our feeling, and I wanted to elevate it to this board just so everybody's aware of it and see if there was any opposition to it, but that every driveway in Kingston now needs a driveway permit. It's $25, it's not gonna break the bank on anyway, but we're required to make sure that for life safety stuff, that fire trucks can get in there, that the grade is appropriate, and there's a couple other things that we just need to be watching. That if it's off of the state road as it sits right now, we're not.
Right now, I get like that.
And we're on the hook for it. If their house burns down and we didn't get a driveway permit, guess what? The town's in trouble.
So on a state road, it would, if this goes through, they need 2 permits, one from the state and one from the town.
Right, and essentially the state only cares about their right of way, which is I think 10 or 15 feet off of the road, and that's it. Whereas,
And they're concerned that the road, that it doesn't pitch out to the state road.
correct. But since we own it anyway, we might as well make it more, or not stringent, but they're at least under the umbrella of the town for their construction of their driveway. I don't know if you have
Any issues around the table? Concerns?
And I think this is going to ask the board to take the C, the regulation, so
These are good.
so it says driving permit will be $25, and we wanted to try and get those out of the regulations so
It
that.
really shouldn't be in there.
It
Really
needs to
shouldn't be,
amended.
right.
We don't have to keep having.
What she said.
Yeah, so what we're attempting to do is to make just a spreadsheet with all of the fees that people have to, if they want to do anything, put in a generator or put a driveway in, just go to a page, that's what it's going to cost. In order to do that, we have to take it, because right now it's in regulations, ordinances, it's spread throughout there, and if you ask that for a comprehensive fee schedule, it would be like 10 pages slapped in front of you. You'd have to read through all of that.
So anywhere that you find that one, you would like to show fees set by the board of selectmen and on the established fee schedule periodically. Anywhere there's a fee anyway.
Right. But to make a change in the rate, we have to notice it regularly.
And I think in this instance, it is the planning board's purview, so the ultimate fee would be up to the planning board, but just so we have that verbiage in there that the planning board has the authority to set fees for driveway permits. If we need to change it, we can just present it before, I don't see that going up anytime soon.
Just because the planning board sets the fees, doesn't mean the sentence can't still read. Fees will be available in the selectman's office.
Now, this is just for the initial driveway permits, is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be, because I know there's a lot of discussion about repaving and, or changing the driveway or doing something like that, and that, for example, I live on a state road, so I would have to go to the state for that. Now you're not saying that, oh, if I was gonna change from gravel to pavement, would I have to go to the town also, even though that's a state?
Yes.
Well, that's not, I'm not getting a driveway permit because the driveway exists.
I mean, this gets back into that whole theoretical discussion we're having at one point in time of what requires a driveway permit.
Right.
And it's on the
It's a
list.
different discussion.
Yeah, it's on the list of things we're trying to simplify, but for the purposes of this, I see what you're saying, but regardless of whether it's going to the state or not, we need to make sure that there aren't any, like the state isn't going to check to see if there's wetland buffers around there outside of the 15 feet that they give you a permit for. And so the town would still be on the hook for the MS requirements. If someone put in an asphalt driveway and made the runoff go into the wetlands in an inappropriate manner or something like that. So I think, I get what you're saying. I guess my point is the town is required to make sure those things are being checked and watched either way, whether it's off the state road or not, because the state only cares about the first 15 feet.
So, unless there's objection, we will add this to a future agenda, one that isn't already crammed with other stuff.
Okay, just a minute. What we're talking about right now, like the fee schedule, the requirement driveway permit for everything. What you're talking about, I think should be one of those things that the board decides that that's gonna be on its list of things to do. Because, Rich has had issues with things on driveways, residents have things on whether a driveway needs a permit or doesn't. And I think that maybe you all need to have that discussion with Rich present and get the language worked out, but that seems to be a secondary thing and maybe a bigger project, and maybe that just goes on the list for getting done in 2020. But again, that's up to the board, but this seems like a smaller version, or that's a big one.
Yeah, I equate it to, if you're re-siding your house, you need a building permit.
Yeah, and boy, that's expensive now. Re-roofing, putting on new shingles.
Right, but irregardless, you still need to, a building permit needs to be pulled. The discussion can be had with the building inspector or the road agent, whether you need to pull the driveway permit based on the different conditions. But we're just applying the building permit to everybody in town, applying the driveway permit to everybody in town. And then those guys on the ground are making final call, whether it's required. That work?
We're going to discuss this more at a future meeting.
No restrictions later.
Yeah. Storyline. Is there any other business to discuss? Glenn, do you have anything for us?
I do not.
Anybody else, board members? select.
I make a motion we adjourn.
Second. Third. Motion by Bill, second by Chris, all in favor? Aye. All right, it's unanimous, we're adjourned at 7:50.
Holy man, 2 early meetings in a row.
Adam, we're done.
It's in preparation for the